Neither the spirit nor the mind of man is ever far from darkness. He is made of different stuff than the elves and dwarves of Arcanus, and, rather than a part of nature, he sits a part of it, like an appendage. Whether that appendage and aforementioned mind and spirit is put to good or ill is often left to chance, it seems, or if the will of God is manifest in the actions of man, it remains opaque even to the most wise. And so it was that thousands of years ago some men who conquered became cruel and wicked. It was then in the deep forests of the continent that the terror was discovered, and the woes of men were multiplied. On the Nature of Evil by Adeptus Turin Constante of Vitronium, 30 BU. It is said that the men of the North are made of sterner stuff than their southern counterparts. Perhaps, but then there are arguments to be made both ways. But what is certain is that they are different. Most scholars of lore believe that the race of men split over 1,000 years ago, and that most kingdoms of the North are descended from the men who fled the Great Terror into the northern wastes. And I quote, "And they say that the terror flew from the east on a cloud of locusts, and that the sunset ran red like blood. And they say also that the hearts and minds of men were broken as they fled into the wilderness. Glacier the Great rang loud with the raving of lunatics." From the Legends of the Elder Days, Chapter 2 of The Unnamed One, written by Lord Triton III, Lord of Fürstenfeld, 4th BU. Most realms of the North are fairly secluded, but are also self-sufficient and proud. Norwal, for example, is the largest of these, but also the most remote. Inhabited mostly by humans who stand a hand taller than their kin, Norwals typically trade in luxuries like furs, or are fishermen who troll the rough North Sea, or hunt seals along the hundreds of miles of coastline. There is even the rumor of mines filled with gold and precious gems below the glacier, but few visitors have corroborated these rumors. In the winter, the road to Norwal, known as the Jagenstraat, is often impassable, but in the springtime traders can be found moving south to Fürstenfeld or east to the village of Buchwald. Buchwald sits flush on the Gulf of Wales and makes its trade by hunting the great beasts of the same name. Furthest to the north and east is Kruppgelanden. Though small, the people of Kruppgelanden, known as Kruppengels, are well known for their rustic culture. They dwell in houses of ice and are very isolationist. What few scholars have studied them, however, have remarked of an amazing strain of magic that runs through their wise men and wise women. If the North and the Mysterium itself can be said to have a capital, it would be Feronia. Even now, over 200 years after the Scaveri War, Feronia is shrouded in mystery. It reigns from the Ferric Mountains to the Devil's Eye, and holds in its command fortifications such as the Warburg in the east and the Zwartberg, a sprawling fortress that bridges the gap between the Ferric Mountains and Boreas Boreae. While Feronia boasts a large population of humans who answer the call of the Magus Principus and obey his edicts absolutely, its true strength lies in its hundreds of thousands of Scaveri. The Ferric Scavs, as they are sometimes called, do everything from maintaining Feronia and its fiefdoms to maintaining standing armies and mining the rich veins of the Ferric Mountains. Skalsberg, in fact, is nothing but an entire city of Scaveri, and it is located near the Zwartberg, often supplying it with fresh troops. And while the influence of Feronia in the north is not to be denied, at least in times of war or great need, there are still other kingdoms in the north who only loosely of the Mysterium. Fürstenfeld, for example, has stood for over 1,000 years. Over the past 200, however, the lordship of Fürstenfeld has changed hands several times, usually amidst violent revolts or subtle but deadly political maneuvering. For the past generation, Lord Jairus Tarask has maintained order. Though he is seldom seen abroad, the Lord has a reputation of competence and fair governance. Compared to other city-states of the Mysterium, Fürstenfeld keeps few Scavari. Those they have are only minimally corrupted and maintain the city walls and central keep, known as the Frist House. Though not as populated and advanced as Feronia, or fortified as the Vestburg, Fürstenfeld has a lively economy, trading with caravans traveling north from the Ivory Coast and south from Norwal. The dense forest surrounding Fürstenfeld serve as a ready supply of building materials and food, while the nearby mountains contain minerals and precious metals. Finally, we come to the Vestburg. Little more than a wall spanning nearly a mile, with keeps, barracks, and tall towers along its length, the Vestburg was constructed near the end of the Scavari War as a gateway to the north by way of the west coast. Its key strategic position had made it a hotly contested piece on the dangerous chessboard of Mysterian politics. Most recently, the Vestburg is ruled by House von Severus, a family known for ruthless scheming and assassination. But it appears that the most recent ruler of the Vestburg, Count Lucas von Severus, may have gone too far. After murdering the nephew of the leader of the Juventus Legion stationed at Castrum Consto, war is now on the horizon.